Hey guys, it's Miss Pham. This is the first set of notes that you're going to be taking today. They're going to be on page 47 in your notebook. That should be a right-hand side. They're going to be titled Transcription. Alright, I'm going to go through all the information, and it's all right in front of you in this video, and I'm going to take it step by step. The great thing about a video is you can pause, you can go back, you can go forward. As I talk, if you miss something, you can take a break or stop, whatever you need to. It's at your own pace. Alright, let's get started. So transcription, its function, or what it does, is it's a process of copying DNA into mRNA coding. So it's the actual step that we've been talking about where we transcribe mRNA from DNA. Just like you guys did in the cookie thing yesterday, you had one person in your group be the messenger RNA, and they grabbed the recipe from the DNA sequence, technically, that was supposed to be outside, and they came back into the classroom. That process of them writing it down is transcription. And again, it's very important that you understand that this needs to happen because DNA cannot leave the nucleus. It is too big. We don't want to take the whole textbook home. We just need that page copied, or the image of that page on your phone to take home to do your homework. So the mRNA will carry only the information you need. Just like the recipe, we only took a picture of one recipe, or we only wrote down one recipe instead of copying the whole thing. Alright, steps. It's very similar to replication. First step is that the DNA must be unzipped. The DNA shape, we've been talking about it for the last 2 days, is a double helix. That twisted shape does not allow for copying to kind of naturally happen. It's got to be unwound and straightened out almost so that we can make the sequence. We can copy it. Step 2, mRNA is built one nucleotide at a time using DNA as a template. Then the mRNA, once it's kind of finished writing the recipe, once it's got to an end point, it's going to stop, and it's going to go ahead and make its way out of the nucleus and into the cytoplasm. Some of your classmates, when they wrote the recipe, I gave them extra time, and they finished early, so they went back into the classroom. Same concept. mRNA finished copying what it needed to and heads out into the cytoplasm. Once it does that, it's going to the DNA is going to zip back up into its original shape. Remember, we talked about a word called semi-conservative, meaning the old strand of DNA was going to be combined with a new strand of DNA. Well, this process is considered to be conservative because the original strand of DNA is still together. It's intact. It's still, the two strands that we started with are there. Now what we're left with is one single-stranded RNA. Remember, that's one of the differences between DNA and RNA. Is that it's single-stranded and now it's leaving the nucleus. Remember, it's single-stranded also because it's small enough to leave the nucleus and go into the cytoplasm to find a ribosome. Ribosome to make a protein. The whole point of this is to make proteins. Proteins express who you are, how you function on a day-to-day basis. So again, that pretty much sums up transcription. We start with DNA unzipping a specific section, like finding a recipe in a cookbook. You got to go to a certain page. Then mRNA is going to build or copy the DNA one nucleotide at a time. Sorry, that was my phone making noise. It copies it one nucleotide at a time. Remember, a nucleotide is a sugar, a phosphate, and a nitrogen base. And the nitrogen base is the part that's really crucial in the sequence. Then when it's got all its needs, the whole recipe, it's going to leave the nucleus, head back into the cytoplasm, or head out into the cytoplasm, and your DNA is going to go back to its original shape. We call it conservative because the DNA molecule remains intact. It's still the two original strands are still connected to each other. And that's all of transcription. If you have any questions, go back, or you can shoot me an email. I'll see you guys on Friday. And you'll get to listen to me a couple more times on other videos. Alright, thanks for paying attention.